William J. Burke, and the rank was Fire Control Technician, 2nd class. When I went in the Navy, I come out of high school with probably the poorest grades you could have, because all I did was chase women and play sports. And probably joining the Navy was probably the best thing I ever did. And the reason being is that when we came back from Korea, we had 80 secondary battery fire controlmen and 50 main battery fire controlmen. So we had a total of 130 fire controlmen. I was in the secondary battery, and so when we come back from Korea, they said they were going to send about 20 or 30 guys to FT school, which was at that time the longest school that the Navy had. It was 44 weeks in Washington, D.C. My hopes were not very high, because I figured with my grades in high school, and I don't know what my scores were when I went in. Maybe they must have been higher than I thought, because I was the first one to go. And luckily, went to FTA school in Washington, D.C. The day I walked in, they said, if you don't keep your grades up, you're going back to the ship. So for the first time in my life, I hit the books. We had a library right next to our dorm in Washington, D.C. So for the first time in my life, I studied, hit the books, and went back aboard the Missouri after FTA school, and was on the decommissioning activity in 54 and 55 in Bremerton, Washington, and the experience was not too good. We were probably working 10-hour days, and a lot of times down below decks, and we were cosmoleting all the 40 millimeters, which when they recommissioned it, were all taken off the ship. They took off all the 40 millimeters, and just all kinds of stuff like that. And the one thing that I remember is, and then repainting everything, okay, all the fire control directors and radar rooms and everything else. And the one thing that I do remember, was a joke that was going around at that time, was a chief comes by one day and says, we asked him, what are we supposed to paint? And he said that, this is a little Navy joke, okay? If it moves, salute it. If it doesn't, paint it. So that was about it. But it was a lot of work out there, and the days were long. And then the worst part about it was you get ready to go out in Liberty at night in Bremerton, Washington, and I don't think I'd ever want to live out in that area. You'd go down, shower, and eat down below decks, and you put your raincoat on just like you're putting on your shoes and go ashore, because it rained every damn day. After that, I was sent to Long Beach for my last year in the Navy, shore duty at the reserve fleet down there, where they had about 35 or 40 World War II destroyers. Why we had 7 fire controlmen down there doing nothing, I have no idea, but it worked out great for me, because all I did was play football, basketball, and baseball and softball for a year, so that worked out pretty good. I think the best part about the whole thing is that going and being sent to FTA school and making it through a 44-week technical school, which was tough for me, having not studied in high school. I figured that maybe I could go to school on the GI Bill. And so when I got out, I went to the GI Bill and got my degree from Western Michigan University in business in 1960. Had a successful, very good career. And looking back, the best thing that ever happened to me is joining the Navy.